What's up, YouTubers? It's Ernie, Blerd Without Fear, and today we're going to be discussing the In the Name of the Father story arc in Superman Rebirth Volume 2. So, Superboy and Robin, two characters that on paper should be one of the greatest duos, even to rival Superman and Batman themselves. They may not be quite yet the world's finest, but two characters who have a legacy to live up to, and in many ways are already doing just that. This team-up came together when one day Superboy was leaving school and bumped into the new kid, Maya, a girl he instantly gets the hots for, much to his friend Kathy's chagrin. But what he doesn't realize is who she really is. And while he's riding his bike home with Kathy, they part ways when John wants to go through Dead Man's Swamp, a place that may be of interest in a future Superman video. John starts hallucinating and accidentally sets the forest on fire with his heat vision, only to be saved by nobody. That's right, nobody. A new kid on the block in the superhero game, and also happens to be Maya, daughter of Morgan Ducard, the original nobody. And she's also got Goliath in tow with her as well, so we kind of know where this is going. Unfortunately, Superboy, being allergic to Goliath, sets off his freeze breath, something he didn't have before now. He accidentally freezes Goliath's wings, and they go crashing down to the ground below, but as luck would have it, Goliath is still able to break free and make the save, leaving Superboy knocked out cold, only to wake up later to find himself being held prisoner by Damian Wayne. Damian has been keeping close watch on Superboy since the beginning of DC Rebirth, probably about as much as Batman has been eyeballing Superman since the final days of Superman. He sees Superboy as a threat. He's not too fond of the fact that he's killed animals with his powers, even though it was accidental in every case, and that he trashed Batman's lunar cave, though technically that was mostly Superman and the Eradicator. Bottom line, he feels everyone, even the Justice League, have given John Kent too easy of a pass. Batman drops in and wants Damian to let Superboy go. Regardless of what he thinks of the situation, Batman knows that Superman is more than likely to be able to tell exactly where Superboy is, and that's when things get intense. It all blows up in Damian's face when Superman arrives, demanding to know what they did with his son. And right now, he's not hearing anything anyone has to say. He doesn't give one Kryptonian fuck about any excuse Batman has. It all becomes a contest of who can criticize who's parenting more effectively. Superman thinking that Robin needs to be taught some manners, while Batman feels Superman needs to show Superboy some self-control. But fortunately, Superboy is able to freeze breath an ice wall between them, which finally gets everyone's attention. This prompts Superman and Batman to reflect a little, making them realize their boys are actually, for real, superheroes in their own rights. And maybe they've missed out on some of the important things because superheroes doing superhero stuff. Specifically, Superman kind of feels like, wow, I have been missing out on you developing your powers. This unexpected power swell for John leads Batman to want to do some more tests with him, and they find out his powers are probably going to be getting amped up before they know it. But this isn't what this story is about. That's for later Superman stuffs. This story arc is all about the dynamic between Damian and John. Two boys who don't like each other at all, constantly throwing shade at each other and even coming to blows. Superboy accidentally freeze breaths Alfred, and this sets off Damian to go for Superboy's throat with a kryptonite batarang. But the thing that really sells this book is that Batman and Superman catch wind of their fight, and they're both pissed. So they decided to put the boys through Batman's special boot camp to get them to understand teamwork and how to rely on one another. Because if Batman and Superman are going to work together, then it's only natural that Robin and Superboy will have to as well, even if it's just by association. What's more, it's kind of a time-honored tradition for Robins and Superboys to be friends, so why not these guys? Superboy and Robin have their work cut out for them. And their first test is a fight against Nobody, who is looking forward to making Robin her bitch at the moment. Not only that, they even have to go up against Goliath in the second round of test, who isn't pulling any punches against even Robin, someone he considers a friend, because somehow his animal instincts have been manipulated, so all he's thinking right now is either food or fight. All this while both Robin and Superboy, who has yet to learn how to fly by the way, are stuck on a train and it's heading for a crash at any moment, thanks to Batman, this being round 3 of their teamwork test. Thanks to quick thinking by Superboy, who realizes food may be the way to get Goliath back on their side, launches a fish to get Goliath's attention and help them fly away from the crashing train. While flying home with Goliath, you can tell that their fighting together has really brought them around each other. They never admit it openly, but deep down, even Damien feels their friendship becoming a thing. Just like in real life, you grow up and you have this one kid who, you're kind of friends with, but you don't really want to say anything. It's just kind of like y'all just hang out and y'all butt heads. You get in each other's faces and you may fight sometimes and get pissy with each other, but deep down you would do anything for each other. You just don't know it yet. They make a good team even when they're at each other's throats, and that is kind of the beauty of them being a superhero team up. Superman finally gets the W over them in the 4th round of this boot camp when he sets up a hurricane that throws Goliath off course, while their budding teamwork turns from sugar to shit real fast when they both panic, trying to both give Goliath commands and confusing him. Before they can start placing blame on each other, Superman reminds them that they win as a team and lose as a team, and that it's not easy for even him and Batman to work together, but they need to learn how to now before they have to do it when the stakes are too high. And since they didn't win a single challenge during the boot camp, they didn't beat Nobody, they didn't defeat Goliath, they didn't really solve the train situation, and of course, they didn't beat Superman's hurricane, they're likely going to have to hang up their capes once they get back home. And of course, they have to find their own way back. But it's not over. When they return to the Batcave, all's quiet. Then they realize that DNA samples from some of Batman's deadliest foes has been broken open, and before they know it, they see Superman and Batman and Alfred trapped high above in the rafters of the cave by what appears to be Clayface? And he's going for throats and putting it on them. And the thing is, Robin and Superboy don't think this is part of the test. They think this is the real deal. Only it's not. Superman even thinks they may have gone too far this time, but Batman sees something Superman, for all his heightened senses, can't. They're finally working together. When the stakes weren't real, they wouldn't bother helping each other. But once they felt things were really on the line, they became the fighting force they needed to be. They began coordinating attacks, warning each other about incoming attacks, directing traffic for each other's abilities, and before you know it, they defeat Clayface, with Robin having Superboy freezing him solid, while John directs Robin to Shimpu Jinrai Kyaku Clayface's head off and send him crashing down into the watery pits of the cave below. They free their dads and Alfred. Batman doesn't seem as impressed as Superman and Alfred, but Alfred doesn't care. He sees that all that matters is that they got the job done when it mattered most. He gives them their capes back and declares that they have proved they weren't just the sons of Superman and Batman. They're super sons. Roll credits, everybody. No, but for real, Batman and Superman sit back and share a cup of hot cocoa while they themselves realize they actually did do a good job raising their sons, that they made even their own fathers proud by raising these boys under difficult circumstances. But before they can pat themselves on the back too much, Superboy and Robin are already at each other's throats again. But that's okay, because that's just half the fun of Super Sons. Super Sons is a really interesting book, and a lot of you have recommended I, jump on this book and do some videos on it. So I was like, what better way to do it than, kind of kicking off with what was essentially the prelude to Super Son. So, I mean, I actually really enjoyed this book. Unfortunately, it has been canceled, if I'm not mistaken. Issue number 16 of Super Sons will be the final issue, so that book's been canceled. But still, I've been enjoying it, and I plan to go ahead and cover the rest of it. I mean, what little there is going to be. And I'm glad y'all actually recommended this to me. I like the dynamic between them because, I mean, it just reminds me of what it was like to be a kid, you know, growing up with people that you are great friends with, but you just don't see eye to eye on everything. Pretty realistic if you ask me. But let me know what you thought about Superman Volume 2 story arc, In the Name of the Father. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers and tap the bell so you know when I post up. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you all next time. Plus Ultra!